The lights on the bridge of the Zephyrian battlecruiser blinked red. General Krekstar stood tall, his crystal skin glowing with anger. His 4 arms moved quickly across the control panels as reports came in from his scouts. "Sir, we have a problem," Commander Velanoth said. His voice shook with worry. "The humans on New Haven have taken our young ones." General Krekstar turned his large head toward the commander. His eyes, which looked like blue fire, burned brighter. "What do you mean they took our young?" "During the cultural exchange visit, sir. 5 of our children went to their learning center. They have not returned. The humans refused to give them back." The general's crystal body began to glow red with rage. In all his years fighting across the galaxy, no species had ever dared to touch Zephyrian children. This was an act of war. "Get me Lieutenant Morrison on the communication link now," he ordered. Down on the planet New Haven, Jake Morrison was having the best day of his life. The human settlement was small but happy. Today was special because alien children were visiting their school for the first time. He watched through the classroom window as the kids played together. The Zephyrian children looked like walking crystals. They were about the same size as human kids, but their skin sparkled in the sunlight. They had big eyes that could see things humans could not see. They could also talk to each other without speaking, using their minds. Jake smiled as he saw a human girl named Emma teaching a young Zephyrian how to play with building blocks. The alien child, whose name sounded like Zilga, was laughing. It was a beautiful sound, like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. His communication device beeped. Jake pressed the button and heard the angry voice of General Krekstar. "Human Morrison, you will return our young ones immediately." Jake was confused. "Sir, I don't understand." "The children are having a great time. They are learning and playing with our kids. You have taken them against their will. This is an attack on our people." "No, sir, you don't understand. We invited them to join our school program." "Look, I can show you." Jake turned on the video feed that connected to the ship. The screen showed the classroom where human teacher Lisa Chan was reading a story to a mixed group of human and alien children. All the kids sat in a circle, listening carefully. Some human children had their arms around the Zephyrian kids, keeping them warm and comfortable. General Krekstar stared at the screen. He could not believe what he was seeing. The human children were touching his people's young ones. They were sharing food with them. They were including them in their games. "This makes no sense," he said to Commander Velanoth. "Why are they not afraid? Why are they sharing resources with creatures that are not their own kind?" In the classroom, Lisa Chun noticed that one of the Zephyrian children looked sad. The little one's crystal skin was turning a pale blue color. Lisa knew this meant the child was homesick. "Come here, little one," she said gently. She knelt down and smiled at the young alien. "Would you like to call your family?" The Zephyrian child nodded. Lisa helped set up a communication link to the ship. Soon, the child was talking to his parents in their crystal language, which sounded like beautiful music. But when the parents heard their child's voice, they became worried. The translation system was not working well. They could not understand why their child was with strange creatures so far from the ship. "Our child is in danger," they told Commander Velanoth. "The humans have stolen him." Back on the ship, General Krekstar was getting more angry reports. More Zephyrian parents were calling, worried about their children. The general had to make a choice. He could not let any harm come to the young ones. "Prepare the battle fleet," he ordered. "We will rescue our children." The massive Zephyrian ships began to move toward the planet, their weapons charged with energy. General Krekstar had fought many wars, but this was different. This was about protecting the most precious thing in their society, their children. On New Haven, Jake Morrison received an emergency alert. The alien ships were approaching in attack formation. He ran to find Captain Ryan Hayes, the leader of the Human Defense Force. "Captain, we have a big problem. The Zephyrians think we kidnapped their kids." Captain Hayes looked at the radar screen. 12 large alien warships were heading their way. "How long do we have?" "Maybe 6 hours, sir." "Contact Earth Command. We need help. And Jake, whatever happens, keep those kids safe. All of them, human and alien." In the classroom, the children continued to play. Emma was now teaching 3 Zephyrian kids how to draw with crayons. Danny Rodriguez was sharing his lunch with a young alien who had never tasted human food before. The alien child's crystal skin glowed with happiness as he tried a peanut butter sandwich. Lisa Chun watched her students with pride. She had taught for 15 years, but she had never seen anything like this. The human children naturally accepted the alien kids as friends. They shared their toys, helped with difficult tasks, and made sure no one felt left out. She did not know that above them, 2 space fleets were preparing for battle. She did not know that her simple act of kindness, inviting alien children to learn and play, had started what might become an interstellar war. The Zephyrian children were happy. They had learned new games, tasted new foods, and made new friends. But their parents in space were terrified. They could not understand why another species would care for children that were not their own. General Krekstar stood on his bridge, watching the planet grow larger on his screen. Soon he would have his answers. Soon he would rescue the young ones from these strange humans who did impossible things like sharing and caring across species lines. The first day of what would become the most important misunderstanding in Galactic. History was ending. Neither species knew that this moment would change how they saw each other forever. General Krekstar watched the countdown on his screen. 4 hours until his fleet reached the human planet. His crystal hands gripped the command chair as he sent his final message to the humans below. "People of New Haven, you have 1 hour to return our children. If you do not, we will take them by force. This is your only warning." The communication channel closed with a sharp click. Around him, his officers prepared for battle. They checked weapons, shields, and boarding craft. None of them understood why the humans had taken alien children, but they would get them back. On the planet, Captain Ryan Hayes stood in the emergency command center. Alarms were ringing throughout the colony. His hands shook as he read the alien. General's message again. "Sir, what are your orders?" asked his second officer, Lieutenant Betty Clark. Ryan looked at the radar screen, showing 12 massive alien ships approaching. His small defense force had only 2 patrol boats and some ground weapons. They could not win a fight against a battle fleet. "Get me Admiral Susan Torres at Earth Command. Tell her we need help fast. And contact Dr. Alex Kim. He knows more about alien cultures than anyone." "Yes, sir. What about the children?" "Keep them safe. All of them, human and alien." In the school, Lisa Chun gathered the children in the main classroom. She could hear the warning sirens outside, but she kept her voice calm and gentle. "Children, we are going to play a special game today. We will stay inside and have fun activities." Ima raised her hand. "Miss Chun, why are the sirens making noise?" "It's just a drill, sweetheart. Nothing to worry about." The Zephyrian children could sense that something was wrong. Their crystal skin began to change colors, showing their emotions. Zilka's skin turned light purple, which meant she was scared. Danny Rodriguez noticed this and moved closer to her. "It's okay, Zilka. Miss Chun will keep us safe." He took her crystal hand in his small human one. The alien child's skin slowly returned to its normal blue color. She felt better when Danny stayed close to her. Jake Morrison burst into the classroom. His face was red from running. "Lisa, we need to talk. Now." Lisa walked to the corner where Jake was waiting. "What's happening out there?" The alien parents think we kidnapped their kids. They're sending warships to get them back. Lisa's eyes went wide. But that's crazy. The children are happy here. They're learning and playing. I know, but the aliens don't understand. In their culture, touching someone else's children is like declaring war. What do? Keep the kids calm. We have people coming to help solve this problem. Across space, Admiral Susan Torres received Captain Hayes' emergency message. She was on the space station orbiting Earth, and she immediately called her best negotiator. Dr. Kim, we have a situation. The Zephyrians think we kidnapped their children. Dr. Alex Kim was eating lunch when his communicator rang. He was an expert in alien cultures and had studied the Zephyrians for years. That's impossible, Admiral. Humans don't kidnap children. I know that, and you know that, but they don't know that. Can you get to New Haven? I'm on my way. Back on the Zephyrian flagship, Commander Velinov approached General Krextar with a worried expression. Sir, I've been watching the video feeds from the planet. Something strange is happening. What do you mean? The human young ones are sharing food with our children. They are playing together. They seem ... happy. General Krextar looked at his commander with confusion. That makes no sense. Why would they share resources with creatures that are not their own species? I don't know, sir, but look at this. The commander turned on a screen showing the classroom. They could see human children helping Zephyrian children with art projects. A human boy named Carlos was teaching an alien child how to use crayons. When the alien child made a mistake, Carlos did not get angry. Instead, he showed him how to fix it. This behavior is impossible, General Krextar said. No species in the galaxy acts this way. On the planet, more strange things were happening. During lunchtime, the human children noticed that the alien children did not have food. Without being asked, they shared their sandwiches, fruits, and cookies. Sophie Turner, a quiet 8-year-old girl, gave half of her lunch to a young Zephyrian named Mortek. When he could not hold the sandwich with his crystal hands, she helped him eat it. Is it good? She asked. Mortek's skin glowed bright yellow, which meant he was very happy. Good food. Thank you, Sophie friend. The alien children had never experienced this kind of treatment before. In their society, families took care of their own children and no one else. The idea of strangers being kind to young ones was completely new to them. Dr. Alex Kim's ship raced through space toward New Haven. He studied reports about the situation and began to understand the problem. The Zephyrians were not evil or mean. They were scared and confused. This is a cultural misunderstanding, he said to his pilot. The Zephyrians don't understand human behavior. As the alien fleet got closer to the planet, Captain Hayes made a difficult decision. He opened communication channels to all the Zephyrian ships. General Krextar, this is Captain Hayes. I want to show you something. You have 30 minutes to return our children human. Please, just watch your screens. Captain Hayes activated every camera in the school. The aliens could now see everything happening in real time. They watched human children reading stories to alien children. They saw teachers helping both human and alien kids with their lessons. In one classroom, a human girl was braiding flowers into an alien child's crystal hair. In another room, human and alien children were building a tower together with blocks. General Krextar stared at the screens. His military training had not prepared him for this. He had fought dozens of alien species across the galaxy. He had seen them fight, steal, and destroy. But he had never seen anything like what the humans were doing. Commander Velinov, explain this to me. I cannot, sir. This behavior goes against everything we know about species survival. The timer on General Krextar's screen showed 15 minutes until his fleet reached the planet. He had to make a choice. Would he attack the humans who seemed to be caring for his people's children? Or would he try to understand this impossible behavior? On the planet, the children continued to play, unaware that their innocent friendship might start the first war between humans and Zephyrians. The greatest misunderstanding in galactic history was about to reach its breaking point. Dr. Alex Kim's ship landed on New Haven just as the alien fleet appeared in the sky. The 12 massive Zephyrian warships hung in the air like dark clouds, casting shadows over the human colony. Alex ran from his ship to the emergency command center where Captain Hayes was waiting. "Doctor, thank goodness you're here. We have maybe 10 minutes before they start shooting." Alex looked at the screens showing the alien ships. "Captain, I need to see the children right now. All of them. They're in the school with Lisa Chun." "Good. And I need you to broadcast everything love to those ships. The general needs to see what's really happening." Captain Hayes nodded and gave orders to his communications team. Within minutes, cameras throughout the school were sending clear pictures to the alien fleet above. Dr. Kim rushed to the school building. He found Lisa Chun in the main classroom with 23 children, 15 humans, and 8 young Zephyrians. The children were sitting in a circle, working on art projects together. "Miss Chun, I'm Dr. Kim. I need your help to stop a war." Lisa looked worried. "What can I do?" "Show me how you normally treat the children. Act like nothing is wrong. The alien parents need to see how humans really behave." Lisa nodded and turned back to her students. "Okay, children, let's show our new friend Dr. Kim what we've been working on." Emma held up a drawing she had made. It showed human and alien children playing together under a bright sun. "This is me and Zilka being friends." The young Zephyrian named Zilka held up her own picture. Her crystal hands had trouble holding the crayon, but she had drawn stick figures holding hands. "Sophie helped me make this." Dr. Kim watched carefully as the children continued their activities. He saw things that amazed him. When little Mortek dropped his art supplies, 3 human children immediately helped him pick them up. When a human boy named Peter scraped his knee, a Zephyrian child named Kexley tried to comfort him by making soft musical sounds. "This is incredible," Dr. Kim whispered to Lisa. "The children are naturally taking care of each other." Above them, General Krekstar watched the same scenes on his ship's screens. He stood with his officers, trying to understand what they were seeing. "Sir, the human young ones are giving food to our children again," Commander Velenoth reported. The screen, they could see Danny Rodriguez opening his lunchbox. He had brought extra sandwiches from home. Without being asked, he gave one to each of the alien children who did not have human food to try. "Why do they keep sharing resources?" General Krekstar asked. "This makes no sense from a survival standpoint." His science officer, Commander Nixara, was taking notes. "Sir, I have been studying their behavior for the past hour. The human children show what our computers call cross-species nurturing behavior. They protect and care for young beings that are not their own species. That's impossible. No species in the galaxy does that. The evidence is right in front of us, sir." Dr. Kim asked Lisa to organize a special demonstration. "Can you set up some learning activities that show how the children work together?" "Of course." "Children, let's do our science experiment with the plants." Lisa brought out small pots with seeds and soil. She explained to the mixed group of human and alien children how to plant seeds and help them grow. The children paired up naturally, each human child working with a Zephyrian child. Sophie Turner worked with Zilka to plant a flower seed. When Zilka's crystal hands could not hold the tiny seed properly, Sophie gently guided her hands. "Like this, Zilka. Be very gentle with the baby plant." The alien child's skin glowed soft blue with happiness. She had never had someone outside her family help her learn something new. Carlos Martinez paired up with young Kexley. When Kexley accidentally spilled water on the table, Carlos did not get upset. Instead, he helped clean it up and said, "It's okay. I spill things too sometimes." Dr. Kim watched these interactions with growing excitement. He opened his communicator to speak directly to the alien fleet. "General Krextar, this is Dr. Alex Kim. I am a human expert on alien cultures. May I speak with you? You have 5 minutes, human, before we take back our children." "Sir, what you are seeing is normal human behavior. We call it cooperative child rearing. Humans naturally care for all young beings, not just our own." "That is impossible. Let me prove it to you. Watch this." Dr. Kim nodded to Lisa, who set up a simple test. She pretended to trip and fall, dropping papers everywhere. Immediately, both human and alien children rushed to help her. They picked up papers, asked if she was hurt, and made sure she was okay. "You see, General? The human children automatically helped, and they taught your children to help too. This is how humans raise their young, in communities where everyone takes care of everyone else's children." On the Zephyrian flagship, the officers watched in silence. They had never seen anything like this cooperative behavior between species. "Sir," Commander Nixara said quietly, "our children are learning human social behaviors. Look at their skin colors." The young Zephyrians in the classroom were all glowing with warm, happy colors. Their crystal skin showed shades of blue, yellow, and green, colors that meant they felt safe, loved, and included. "This is what humans call a classroom family," Dr. Kim continued. "The children learn to care for each other, like brothers and sisters, even though they come from different families. Today, that family includes your children, too." General Krextar watched as a human girl named Amy shared her favorite toy with Martek. When the alien child did not know how to play with it, Amy sat down and patiently taught him. She smiled when he finally understood the game. "They are not keeping our children as prisoners," Commander Velinoth said with wonder in his voice. "They are treating them like their own young." Dr. Kim saw his chance to explain more. "General, in human society, all adults are responsible for protecting all children. We have a saying, 'It takes a village to raise a child.' This means that every adult in a community helps care for every child. But why? What do they gain from this? We gain stronger, happier, smarter children. When children feel loved and safe with many adults, they learn better and grow better. This is how humans have survived and thrived across the galaxy." In the classroom, story time had begun. Lisa Chun read a book about friendship while the children sat in a comfortable circle. Human children had their arms around alien children, sharing warmth and comfort. The alien children made soft, happy musical sounds. General Krextar felt something he had never experienced before. He was beginning to understand that the humans were not trying to harm the Zephyrian children. They were trying to help them learn and grow, just like they did with their own young. "Dr. Kim," he said slowly, "if this is true, then we have made a terrible mistake. Not a mistake, General, a misunderstanding, but one we can fix together." General Krextar stood frozen on his command bridge. The weapons of his fleet were still charged and ready to fire, but his mind was spinning with confusion. Everything he had learned about survival and species behavior was being challenged by what he saw on the screens below. "Sir, incoming communication from the planet," Commander Velinoff announced. "But it's not from the humans. Who is it then?" It's one of our children, sir." The bridge fell silent. Never in Zephyrian history had a child spoken directly to a military commander during a crisis. General Krextar's crystal hands trembled as he accepted the communication. A small, sweet voice filled the bridge. It was Zilka, speaking in broken, but determined Galactic Standard. Grandpa Krex, is that you? General Krexstar's eyes went wide. Zilka was his own granddaughter. His son had sent her on this cultural exchange to learn about other species. Now she was calling him from the human planet. Zilka, little Crystal, are you hurt? Are you scared? No, Grandpa, I'm having fun. The human children are very nice to me. They give me food and teach me games. Emma is my best friend now. The general's officers looked at each other in shock. The child sounded happy, not frightened or angry. Zilka, tell Grandpa the truth. Are the humans keeping you there against your will? What does that mean, Grandpa? Dr. Kim, who was listening from the school, spoke gently into the communicator. Zilka, your grandfather wants to know if you want to stay here and play, or if you want to go back to your ship. Oh, I want to stay and play. Sophie is teaching me to make pictures with the colored sticks. And Danny gave me something called a cookie. It was very sweet and good. More small voices joined the conversation. Other young Zephyrians began talking to their families on the ships above. Mama, the human teacher read us a story about a grave. Rabbit, said Mortek. She used funny voices for all the characters. It made me laugh. Papa, I learned a new game called hopscotch, added Kexley. Carlos taught me how to jump on one foot. It's hard but fun. General Krexstar listened to the children's voices with growing amazement. They were not just safe, they were experiencing joy in a way he had never heard before. In Zephyrian society, children were protected and educated, but they rarely sounded this happy. Grandpa, can I ask you something? Zilka's voice came through the communicator again. Of course, little Crystal. Why don't we have friends like this at home? The human children share everything with me. They help me when I can't do something. They make me feel warm inside. General Krexstar had no answer. He looked around his bridge at his officers, all of whom were staring at the communicator in silence. Commander Nixara stepped forward. Sir, I have been analyzing the human behavior patterns. I think I understand what is happening. Explain. The humans have what they call pack bonding behavior. They naturally form social groups that include individuals who are not related. By blood, they extend their protective instincts to any young being in their group. That's impossible evolution, General Krexstar said. It wastes resources on creatures that don't carry your genetic material. Sir, our analysis shows that this behavior actually helps their species survive better. Human children who grow up in these mixed groups become stronger, smarter, and more adaptable. On the planet, Dr. Kim was having a breakthrough moment. He realized that the Zephyrians were not just confused, they were experiencing something their culture had never developed. General, may I ask you a question about your society? Speak. When Zephyrian children play, do they play only with their own family members? Of course. Each family protects and teaches their own young. And when a child needs help, who helps them? Their parents and siblings. What happens if a child's parents are not available? There was a long pause. The child waits for their family to return. Dr. Kim nodded sadly. General, that's the difference between our species. When human children need help, any adult in the community will help them. When they want to play, they play with any other children. We believe that all children belong to all adults. In the classroom, something beautiful was happening. The human children had noticed that the alien children were talking to their families. Without being asked, they gathered around to offer comfort and support. Emma put her arm around Zilka while she talked to her grandfather. Sophie held Mortek's crystal hand while he spoke to his parents. Danny brought tissues when Kexley started crying because he missed his family. You see, General, Dr. Kim said, your children are not prisoners here. They are part of our family. Now, we protect them just like we protect our own children. General Krexstar watched the screen as human children comforted his people's young ones. He saw genuine care and love in their actions. These small humans were doing something that adult Zephyrians had never learned to do. They were caring for children who were not their own blood relatives. "Sir," Commander Velenoth said quietly, "what if we have been wrong about how to raise young ones?" The question hung in the air like a crystal chime. For hundreds of years, Zephyrian society had followed the same pattern, each family caring only for their own children. But here were human children showing a different way. They were proving that young beings could thrive when cared for by an entire community. "Grandpa," Zilka's voice came through the communicator again. "The humans have something called group hug. Can you see me?" On the screen, General Krekstar watched as all the children in the classroom, human and Zephyrian alike, formed a big circle with their arms around each other. His granddaughter was in the center, glowing bright yellow with happiness. "I can see you, little crystal. This is what family feels like here, Grandpa. Everyone is family." General Krekstar felt something crack inside his chest. For the first time in his long military career, he was seeing something that was stronger than weapons or fear. He was seeing love that crossed the boundaries of species. "Dr. Kim," he said slowly, "I think my people have much to learn from yours, and we have much to learn from yours, General. But first, we need to make sure all our children, yours and ours, are safe and happy." "Yes," General Krekstar agreed. "All our children." For the first time since the crisis began, the General's crystal skin began to glow with a soft, warm light. He was beginning to understand that the humans had not stolen Zephyrian children. They had welcomed them into something far more precious, a community where every child was loved and protected by everyone. General Krekstar made a decision that shocked his entire fleet. He ordered his weapons to power down and requested permission to land on the human planet. For the first time in his military career, he wanted to see something with his own eyes, instead of through a screen. "Sir, are you certain about this?" Commander Velenoth asked. "It could be dangerous." "Commander, I have fought across the galaxy for 40 years. I have never been more curious about anything than I am about these humans." 2 hours later, General Krekstar walked through the doors of the human school. He was a massive figure, nearly 8 feet tall, with crystal skin that sparkled in the classroom lights. The human children looked up at him with wide eyes, but they were not afraid. "Hello, big crystal man," said Emma, waving her small hand at him. Dr. Kim stepped forward. "Children, this is General Krekstar. He is Zilka's grandfather." Zilka ran to her grandfather and hugged his leg. "Grandpa, you came to see my new friends." The general knelt down so he was closer to the children's height. His crystal eyes studied the mixed group of human and Zephyrian young ones. They were sitting together, playing together, sharing snacks together. It looked so natural, as if they had always been one family. "General," Lisa Chun said, approaching carefully, "would you like to see what the children have been learning?" He nodded silently. Lisa gathered the children in their usual circle. She began the afternoon lesson about different planets and stars. The human children raised their hands to answer questions. When the Zephyrian children did not understand something, the human children immediately helped explain it. Sophie Turner sat next to Mortek and whispered the answers to him when he looked confused. Danny Rodriguez shared his notebook with Kexley, so she could copy the drawings of different star systems. "Why do they do this?" General Krekstar asked Dr. Kim quietly. "Because that's how human children are raised. We teach them that helping others makes everyone stronger." The general watched as Carlos Martinez helped a young Zephyrian named Feltar with a puzzle. When Feltar finally solved it, Carlos clapped his hands and said, "Good job, friend." The alien child's crystal skin glowed bright green with pride and happiness. "In our society," General Krekstar said slowly, "children compete with each other. The strongest and smartest get the most resources. The weak ones must struggle alone. That sounds very hard for the children, Lisa-chan said gently. We thought it made them strong. General, look at your granddaughter. He turned to see Zilka working on an art project with 3 human children. They were making a picture together, each child adding their own part. When Zilka made a mistake, the human children did not laugh at her. Instead, they showed her how to fix it and told her that mistakes were part of learning. She looks different, he said with wonder. Different? How? Happy, more confident. At home, she is always worried about doing things perfectly. Here, she is free. As the afternoon continued, General Krextar watched more interactions that amazed him. When little Peter fell and scraped his knee, not only did the human children help him, but the Zephyrian children also gathered around to comfort him. They had learned caring behavior from their human friends. During snack time, the human children made sure every alien child had something to eat. When Amy discovered that Zephyrian children could not eat chocolate because it made them sick, she immediately gave her chocolate to a human friend and shared her apple with more tech instead. They learned to care for each other naturally, Dr. Kim explained. No one teaches them to do this. It comes from their hearts. General Krextar sat down at one of the small desks, his large frame barely fitting in the child-sized chair. Zilka climbed onto his lap and showed him her artwork. Look, Grandpa, Emma taught me to paint with my fingers. We made a rainbow together. He looked at the painting. It was messy and colorful, with handprints from both human and alien children mixed together. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. Zilka, do you want to come home to the ship now? She thought for a moment. Can my human friends come too? What do you mean? I want Emma and Sophie and Danny to come live with us. Then we can all be family together. General Krextar felt his crystal heart break a little. His granddaughter had experienced something on this planet that she could not find at home. True friendship and community love. Little Crystal, I think we need to make some changes to how we do things. That evening, General Krextar sat with Dr. Kim, Captain Hayes, and Lisa Chun in the school's main office. The children were having a sleepover in the gymnasium, with both human and alien young ones sleeping side by side in sleeping bags. Dr. Kim, I want to propose an exchange program. Our children can come here to learn your ways of community and caring. And perhaps some of your children would like to visit our ships to learn about crystal technology and space navigation. That sounds wonderful, General, but I also want to ask for help. Can you teach our adults how to create this kind of caring? Community for our own children? Dr. Kim smiled. General, that would be an honor. Over the following months, something incredible happened. The Zephyrian society began to change. Adult Zephyrians learned to care for children who are not their own blood relatives. They created community spaces where all children could play and learn together. Human teachers traveled to Zephyrian ships to show them how to build what humans called extended families. Zephyrian scientists shared their knowledge of crystal, technology, and space travel with human children. The program was so successful that other alien species heard about it and wanted to join. Soon, there were mixed communities of human, Zephyrian, and other alien children learning and growing together across the galaxy. General Krextar often visited the school on New Haven. He would sit in the small chairs and watch the children play. His own granddaughter had become fluent in 3 human languages and had taught dozens of human children how to grow crystal gardens. Dr. Kim, he said during one visit, I realize now that we never really knew how to raise children. We only knew how to train them for survival. And we learned from you too, General. Zephyrian meditation techniques have helped our children focus better. Your crystal growing projects teach patience and care. The greatest discovery was not made by our scientists or your explorers. It was made by children who simply decided to be friends. In the classroom, Zilka was reading a story to a mixed group of younger children. Her crystal skin glowed with warm, happy colors as she used different voices for each character, just like Lisa Chun had taught her. The misunderstanding that almost started a war had instead created the greatest alliance in galactic history. And it all began with the simple human truth that every child deserves love, protection, and care, no matter what species they come from. General Krekstar watched the children and smiled. The humans had been right all along. It really did take a village to raise a child. And now, that village included the entire galaxy.